Hey everybody, Cannon here from More Tech, and in this video we are going to be talking about how to design parts that fit into the snap mount. Now if you don't know, the snap mount is a special little part that we designed that makes it really easy to design things that fit with the Moorebot ecosystem. So designing things to snap onto a wooden dowel can be pretty difficult. It took us a lot of trial and error. So we decided to make this part with a simple interface that makes it easy to mount things. So for example, the ultrasonic sensor mount uses snap mounts to mount onto the frame, and it's just these two little rectangles that insert into these two holes in the mount. And you can see this everywhere. It's on the sensor mount, it's on the Raspberry Pi mount. Pretty much anything that says mount works with the snap mount. So in this video we're going to be showing you how to design your own snap mount interface in TinkerCAD. And the example I'm going to be using is if we wanted to make a part that could hold, for example, a pin on our robot. So the first thing we need to look at is these little tabs. And if you go to Learn, you can click on All Tutorials. And in here, there is a tutorial that teaches you how to design snap mounts. So it's called Designing Snap Mount Inserts. And it just shows you the basics of the dimensions. So this is the most important thing that we can look at, and it's the dimension of those rectangles that we use. So to break this down, each rectangle is 1/4 of an inch wide, they are 1/3 of an inch long, and there's 1/4 inch between them. And they are also, you can tell from this drawing, 1/8 of an inch tall. So with those dimensions in mind, let's go ahead and start making. And you notice that the basic shape here is just a rectangle. So let's go ahead and bring in a box. Now this box is not the right size. It's a little bit big and tall. And the other thing you gotta change, you might notice that these dimensions are in inches. And TinkerCAD by default is in millimeters. So to fix that, you click on Edit Grid and you change it to inches. Now it was already in inches when I was using it because I have mine set to that, but yours is probably in millimeters, so just click on that drop down, click inches, and click Update Grid. So now let's try to make this the right dimensions. So if you click on the square and then you click on a specific dimension, you can change that dimension. So for example, if I click on the height one, you see this number pops up. I can click on that and I can type 0.125. Oops. There we go. So now it's the right height. We just got to change the other dimensions. So I'm going to click on this rectangle here. It's 1 inch wide. I want it to be 0.25 inches wide, or 1/4 of an inch. Now the last dimension to change, oops, is the length. So I'm going to click on that rectangle here, and I can change the length. I'm going to change it to 0.33, which is 1/3 of an inch. And there we have it. There is our simple rectangle. So there are, in fact, 2 of them. So if you select it and then come over here and hit duplicate and repeat, it'll make another one of them, and we're just going to drag it over. So now we need to figure out how far apart they need to be. And I'm not going to do it that way. Just go ahead and make them. The next thing you need to do is add in another box. And actually, we're just going to duplicate this one again. So we're going to duplicate it. And now we're going to change one thing though. If you click on this one right here and you pull it, we are going to make this 0.75 inches. And you'll see why in a second. So now what we're going to do is just drag these blocks to connect. So I'm going to move this one over here. If it'll let me. There we go. So just drag that up against there. Drag that one up against there. And there we have it. There is a snap mount insert. But before we get too far along, we want to go ahead and solidify this. So I'm just going to drag it, and I'm actually going to make this one a little bit shorter. Let's make it 1/4 inch. I'm going to select all of them, and I'm just going to group them. So now we have kind of a finalized insert. So if I design something that I want to mount onto the robot, and then I add this insert to it, and I join it, it then becomes really easy to add. And let's go ahead and test this. Let's add it a box, and let's make it 1/4 inch tall. And let's go ahead and make it a little bit smaller. It doesn't need to be that big. And we can look up the size of a pen. So I'm gonna, let's see. Let's type in diameter of a marker. So there's a lot of different numbers. In reality, we would probably want to measure whatever marker we were going to work with, because it's going to change if you have a dry erase marker or something else. For now, let's just go ahead and assume 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and take in a cylinder, and we want to make it 1/2 inch. So I'm going to drag it down till it is 1/2 by 1/2, and I'm going to go ahead and lock that design. Nope, not yet. So it's a 1/2 by 1/2, and I'm going to select it and my rectangle here. I'm going to hit the align button, and I'm going to select both of the middles. Looks like it's already in the middle. And then I'm going to go ahead and select both of them, group them. Now there's a hole in the middle, and now I just need to take this and duplicate it. So when you mount something with a snap mount, you want to mount it with 2 snap mounts on either side to make it secure. So I'm just going to hit the duplicate button here, drag that one over, and I need to rotate it 180. So I just select that number, 180, there we go. And now I just need to bring it all together. So I'm gonna make that up against there, drag this one up against here. Let's make sure that did it right. It's not a bad idea to go ahead and use the align tool as well, but you can kind of eyeball it. So now I've got my 3 shapes. Coming together for one. Now I'm just going to select over all of them and hit group. And there you have it. This part, you can now export and 3D print and test it and see if it works. So if it holds the pin like you want, awesome. If not, you can change the size of the hole. You can do all kinds of things. The main thing to take away is how to design this little prong thing right here. And remember, you can always go to MakerPlace and find the dimensions of that. And yeah, whenever you create parts, another thing that I would suggest you do is on MakerPlace, go to Make, and you can hit New Part up in the top right. And here you can share your part, pictures, description, how you make it, and all you have to do is upload a .zip file with your part file on it. And that way other people can use the awesome thing that you've made. So good luck. I hope you create some awesome things, and I hope to see what you make on MakerPlace. Thank you.